Hi, this is a video in English. So we are going to talk about a topic which it's always in a discussion. So one of the topic is the Dravidian. So what is Dravidian? Most of the times we hear that the word Dravida, Dravidian. We always talks about that the place which talks about a place which is surrounded by the three oceans. So three is Dravida. So always they refer that Dravida means a place which talks about a specific region. So even Adi Shankara used to refer himself that I am a Dravida Shishu. That is I'm from a Dravida region. So what he refers is he is from Kerala. So Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, all these people, the people who belong to these regions are termed generally as Dravida. So this is a reference to a place, okay, normally. But whenever we talk about let's say Tamil, so there is a place called Tamil Nadu. That means the people who actually born in this land always speak the mother tongue called Tamil. So Tamil is the mother tongue for these people, and these people can actually migrate to any other places outside India or inside India in other states. Okay, their children may born in other states or other country, but still, even if they born in other countries, they actually most likely I believe most likely they will still speak the mother tongue as a Tamil in their home, at least at the home. So still they are called as Tamilians. So Tamilians will be there all over the world, but Tamil Nadu is a specific region. So with this context, if you look at this Dravida, so this Dravida is actually also we always refer this as a place, right? The way that we explained. So even most of the scholars actually say that Dravida is a place, which is actually the southern part of the India, which is surrounded by three oceans. So which is also correct. Okay, this is like explaining what is Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu is a place. So what about Tamil people, Tamilian? So just like that, who is actually Dravidan? Who is actually the Dravid? Who is actually the Rahul Dravid? So we want to understand who is Rahul Dravid actually. So that's what we are trying to understand here, because Rahul Dravid is from Karnataka, and his surname is actually the Dravid. So we have to investigate what is Dravid. So something should be there. So most of the Dravidian parties actually used to condemn that Manu Smriti, and one of the unfortunate thing about Manu Smriti is the people who are actually the scholars in other literatures, they have not understood the actual Manu Smriti, and whenever they hear the Dravidian people actually condemn the Manu Smriti, they also say that we don't actually follow that Manu Smriti. So we don't care about this Manu Smriti. What is that we are supposed to do? So this is not the right way, because unless you don't read Manu Smriti, please don't comment on that. So you have to read the Manu Smriti before you comment on that. So what Dravidian, the people, the people who believe that I am a Dravidian, and who believe that I am from the Dravidian party, they actually always talk about that this Manu Smriti always talks about the class, caste, and everything. We don't like. This is the reason why people actually been differentiated. That you are at the higher level, I am at the lower level. So this kind of difference, it's because of this Manu Smriti only. So we actually oppose the Manu Smriti completely, and they even quote certain certain verses. Of course, if you ask them what is the actual sloka which you are referring, they never talk about that sloka. But there is a translation of Manu Smriti in Tamil in a few books. They actually read those books and they come up. They say that there is one verse in Manu Smriti which talks about Sutra, and the translation of Sutra is actually he's like a prostitute son. Correct. So this became a very hot topic around India, and people actually didn't like it, or some people liked it. But most of the most biggest challenge is that the people who actually believed in Hinduism, also they have never read which sloka they are referring, and they just trusted the meaning which they actually referred. But that is aside. So if you see, there is a book which they actually refer, and if you see that there is no such word called vibhachari. Vibhachari is the actual Sanskrit word which has never been used in that book. But still, they because of the translation, they said, this is the book which tells that the Sudra, the equivalent meaning is prostitute son. So is that correct? We have to actually identify the trustworthiness of that book which they refer. So that's why if you further read the Manu Smriti, you will see that one beautiful explanation about Dravida. And if you see, most of the scholars have actually explained the Dravida as a place, but there is no such explanation that who is Dravidian, who is Dravidan. Correct. And unfortunately, that Dravidian who opposes the Manu Smriti, only that Manu Smriti actually explains who is Dravidian. So the people who believe that I am a Dravidian have to rethink, and also have to just go through the Manu Smriti, because that is the only primary source book which actually helps them to understand who they are actually. So they have to go and read what is Manu Smriti says, and also who is Dravidian. So now let's come to the Dravidian explanation of Manu Smriti. Manu Smriti actually tells that, see, Manu is there as per our Hinduism, the Manu who is ruling this particular kalpa is actually this particular period is Vaivasvata Manu. There are multiple Manus, and the first Manu was named as Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu was the first Manu. So, and he is the one actually gave this Manu Smriti, because that Manu is actually the one who actually created the human people. Like the other religion says, from Adam and Eve, it's like that. We say that from Manu, Swayambhu Manu, 4 set of people actually been created. One set of people were actually Kshatriya people, one set of people are Brahmana people, one set of people are Vaishya people, and one set of people are Shudra. Shudra is nothing but employee. Employee means I am working in a company, so I am an employee, I am a Shudra. So there are certain qualities for employee. That means being loyal to the employer, being honest, being skilled, being experienced. All these qualities are part of the employee, that is Shudra. Shudra works for everyone. Shudra works for, that is employee works for a businessman, that is Vaishya. Vaishya is otherwise known as employer or otherwise businessman. So Shudra works for employer. Shudra works in temple also. Shudra, so he works for Brahmin also. Shudra works for army, police. So Shudra works for Kshatriya also. So this is what it's actually explained in Manu Smriti. Manu Smriti just talks about if you're doing certain kind of work, this is how you should work. And Kshatriya, being a police, being an army man, how you should behave. You cannot behave as an employer. You cannot be a Shudra. You cannot behave like a Brahmin. Brahmin, who is the Brahmin today? The people who are sitting in the assembly, member of parliament, member of state assembly. All these people are today's Brahmin actually. So if you talk about all these, if you honestly understand what actually Swayambhu Manu talks about, he talks about the people who was first created. And these people, when these 4 set of people got created, there is always a chance that a Brahmin, that is maybe a Kshatriya, a people who is actually having the tendency to fight for justice, ready to give up his life and ready to give anything for the people. So that is the mindset of a typical Kshatriya, policeman, army. He lives for the people. So when such a kind of person actually, fall in love with a woman who is actually spiritually oriented, like a Brahmin, what happens? The child who is actually born from them, correct? That particular child may have a quality of both, which is actually scientifically true. So when such a son actually he get from a Brahmin woman, what happens? He might be very good in his knowledge. He knows what is right, what is wrong. Also, with his father's gene, he may also have the tendency to fight for the justice and everything. But there may be a small lag. That is, he may not be ready to give up his life. So at the time of the war, maybe he may actually give up, and he may actually run away. So there is always, this is not the pure quality of a Kshatriya. So if you read Manu Smriti, Manu Smriti says that if a particular Kshatriya boy actually marries a Brahmin woman, that person who is actually born to them, he is not fully a Kshatriya or fully a Brahmin. So he is termed as Suta. He is not Sutra. Sutra is different. Sutra is employee. Okay, Suta means when someone says he is a Suta, then they know that, his father is a Kshatriya, is a policeman, and his mother is a MP or MLA. So an army man married an MLA. That's what it's actually. So what is the result? The son or daughter to whom they, for them. So he may not be a right MLA also, because he may be very aggressive, because being an MLA or being MP, you should have a patience, right? So you should have the patience to actually withstand and fight for the dharma through intelligent speech. Okay, you have to convince them. So there are certain qualities for a Brahmin, right? So when you don't have that quality, and if you become aggressive, what happens in assembly? You will actually start throwing stones on papers. So these are actually a kind of confused quality, when such persons actually enter the MP and MLA as an MP and MLA. So that is what Manu Smriti says, that if you want to protect the uniqueness of the quality of the people that you are going to get as your son or daughter, ensure that you marry a person who is having a similar quality like you. Simple. But still, if you actually fall in love and actually marry someone else with a different quality, okay, fine. Still, I am actually saying that these people also can be considered, and they can also work, but not the way that you are working, but they can actually support you. So similarly, that Suta, the people who actually born to army man with MLA women, he says that you cannot be sitting in an army, you cannot fight directly with enemies. So what you do, you become a charioteer. That means maybe you be a person who is working in a civil. Maybe you just do some civil work. That is, you drive jeeps, and you help them in army. Or otherwise, no, I don't want to be in army side, I want to be in a civil side. Okay, fine. You actually it's called Pauranika. That means you advise them what is best for the Kshatriya. So these are if you actually look at the Manu Smriti in the political view, it will be an amazing script. But people who actually think in that view of caste and other things, they cannot understand Manu Smriti. So if you see that these are the things, this is the way that Manu Smriti has to be understood. And that's where actually the Dravida, who is Dravida, actually that explanation comes, where no other books have explained who is Dravida. Most of the scriptures have said which place is Dravidian place, but no scriptures have explained who is Dravida, who is Dravid, who is Rahul Dravid. No one has explained, except Manu Smriti. So the people who believes that I am a Dravidian has to accept Manu Smriti, because that is the only Smriti, the book which actually tells who you are. So who is Manu? Who is Dravidian? It says that there is a sloka. the people who actually refer a certain book, that book actually smartly removes that particular translation of Dravida. The sloka clearly says who is Dravida, but the translation in Tamil actually removes that word Dravida. So that's why we just cannot rely on the book which is been translated by someone else. Okay, we have to actually use some other brain, and also have to look at what sloka it is talks about, whether is it the right meaning. So all these things we have to do some validations. So now who is Dravida? It tells that Kshatriya has certain qualities. Kshatriya have, that is army men, okay, army men or police. So these army men and police has the tendency to live for the society, and they can even ready to give the life if required. This is the basic quality of a Kshatriya, and he is very aggressive. He is merciless, because if you want to protect someone, you have to kill some unjustified people, correct? So you have to fight with the enemies. So from the heart they are very robust, and they are not kind. So that's a quality of a typical Kshatriya, and that is how they should be. A king should be like that. So an army man should be like that. When an army man fights in the border against the enemies, he cannot have the kind heartedness. So these are the qualities of a Kshatriya. So what says, there is always a chance for a Kshatriya king that his son may have a Kshatriya quality, but he may not be interested to do any Kshatriya activity. That means he may not be interested to be a king. He may not be interested to fight for justice. He may not be interested to give up his life for justice. So there is always a chance, a king is always, there is always a chance one of the son may be not interested that much to give up his life, because he is so much happy to live a happy life, correct? So because he will be very wealthy as a king. So what kind of people they are? Manu Smriti says, these people are also Kshatriyas, but they are not qualified to be a king, because they cannot fight, they are not ready to do anything. So what they can do? They can do whatever they like. And what are they identified? How they are identified? That is where this sloka actually explains. It says that the people who are not actually Kshatriya, that means who actually not doing the duty of a Kshatriya, they may be categorized in different names like Mallar, Jallar, Dravida, and so on. This is the sloka. So if you see Mallargad, this is a one word which we have even heard about in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, when Krishna actually come from Vrindavan to Mathura, actually Kamsa, his uncle, tries to kill him by sending two Mallas. Mallas are nothing but who are actually restless. So who is Malla? That is what Manu Smriti says. Malla is actually the people who are actually Kshatriyas, but not interested to do any Kshatriya activity, but they are very much strong. They are very aggressive people, but they don't want to invest their life for justice. So what they do, they actually involve in sports. So that is what he was doing. The Mallargal was actually a set of people who was actually involved themselves in sports. They fight, they are wrestlers. So Kamsa actually sends two Malla to kill Balrama and Krishna. So that is one reference that we see in Mahabharata. Similarly, Manu Smriti says there are a set of people also Dravida. And Dravida means the region which we talks about, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, all these people. So the people who are part of these regions, Kshatriya regions, the people who are actually Kshatriyas, who are not interested to do Kshatriya activity, they are referred as Dravida. So Manu Smriti actually identifies that who is Dravida in this place. So if based on this validation with Manu Smriti, if you actually look at who is the real Dravida, we can just definitely say that only Rahul Dravid was actually the real Dravida, because he is still in the sports, and he is actually holding the surname of Dravid, Rahul Dravid. So if you look at the Manu Smriti, the proof is actually on Mr. Rahul Dravid. But that's a beauty of Manu Smriti. So if anyone wants to actually condemn Manu Smriti, anyone can actually condemn, but not the Dravidian parties or Dravidian. Whoever wants to say that I am a Dravidian cannot actually question Manu Smriti, because that is the only source, primary source, which helps them to identify who they are. That is, you are Dravidian and you are actually born as a Kshatriya once in your lineage, but you are not the right person because you denied to do your duty, and that is why you are termed as Dravida. Thank you.